my friends from Miami, Florida. For the National League playoff action with the Miami Dolphins undefeated 14 straight victories on the year against the Cleveland football team led by Nick Scorch. And during his tenure at Cleveland, he has won 19, losing 9. A Brown football team that was second, the wild card choice in the Central Division of the American Football Conference. The officials this afternoon, the referee is Norm Schachter. The umpire is Jerry Hart, the head linesman Leo Miles. The line judge is Gene Barth, the back judge is Grover Clemmer, and the field judge is Dick Dolak. The band moving across the field down below, the United States Military Academy band, I believe it is, Bob. That it is, Al, and I noticed looking at that flag in the east end zone, relatively no wind at all out here, so we have a perfect afternoon for football. The only thing we don't have is a little bit of that white stuff they call snow. I don't think we're going to get any either. This is Miami weather. Only Miami weather. The Dolphins will receive Mercury Morris, and let's check it. Charlie Lee and Mercury Morris are the deep backs down around the goal line. Morris at about the 3, and Lee, I believe, is in the end zone. A little bit of a surprise because Mercury Morris not scheduled to start. Shula said he didn't want to take too many chances with him. He wanted to spot him out, but here he is. He's got Mercury Morris right out there for the kickoff at the beginning. Here's an old friend of yours, Don Cockcroft, for the Cleveland Browns, teeing that football up, and a great gentleman, a gentleman who truly, you'll hear from him. Bob Halloran has Don Cockcroft as his guest at halftime. We're set for the kickoff with the 2 deep men down there. Gorgeous afternoon, Miami, sun shining brightly. Al Wester, Bob Halloran, Rusty Wester, our mutual network crew set to go, and Cockcroft comes forward. Puts his foot into it. It's a deep kick. It is into the end zone, and Merck will not run it out. Morris, about 6 yards deep, makes the catch, kneels down, touches the football down, and the Dolphins will put it in play from their 20-yard line. All right, defensively, we'll set it for you very quickly now with Miami on the offense and Cleveland on the defense. Bob Briggs and Nick Roman are the defensive ends. Jerry Shirk and Walter Johnson are the tackles. The linebackers are Billy Andrews, Dale Lindsey, and Charlie Hall. And here comes quarterback Earl Morrow up to the line of scrimmage. Out to the left-hand side, he sets out one of his flankers, takes the snap and makes a pitch. Pitching it out, running wide to the left and cutting in with the football, Larry Sonko. The big fullback gets up to the 22-yard line, and it's hit down by middle linebacker Dale Lindsey. Lindsey makes the stop with a gain of just about 2 yards. So let's call it second down and 8 for the Miami Dolphins. One change out. We thought that we had heard that Doug Cruz-San was going to start a left tackle, but he is not starting. Instead, number 79, Wayne Moore, is the starting left offensive tackle for the Miami Dolphins, and he was in front of Zonka on that play. Wide to the left is Paul Warfield as they come out of the huddle at the 22, and here's the handoff, the inside handoff to Jim Kick, and Kick is piled up almost immediately. He was blasted down at the 22-yard line. Hall came through there, Briggs came through there, and along with him, big Walter Johnson. So there's no gain. The Miami running game stopped on 2 plays. It'll be third down and 8. The Dolphins have the ball at their own 22-yard line. The kickoff, just seconds to go. We are just over a minute into the first quarter of play. Well, Billy Kilmer and the Washington Redskins will be playing in that other playoff game next week. Third down coming up. Both flankers are wide. Back goes Earl Morrow. The old pro sets the throw. Can't find anybody. Elects to run. Knocked down at the 20-yard line. Blasted down there. Hit by defensive right tackle Jerry Shirk. Al, great coverage by the Browns. The Dolphins took out the tight end, Marv Fleming. They put in Otto Stone. They had the 3 wide receivers because of the sure passing down, but great coverage by that secondary of the Browns, and he had to eat that football. Larry Seipel back comes in. He'll do the kicking. And for the Cleveland Browns, number 27 and number 44. They're the deep men, Tom Darden and Leroy Kelly. And here's the kick. Seipel gets it away. It hits at the 42. Kelly might elect to. No, steps out of the way. Lets it roll down to the 30. On to the 25. That kick is dead at the 23-yard line. Larry Seipel just got off a boomer, 52 yards. This is a game of breaks, Al, and there's perhaps one right away for the Miami Dolphins. Larry Seipel, of course, was in a cast just 2 weeks ago. Came back kicked for the first time last week. That was not an exceptionally high kick, sort of a low one. But perhaps the sun was in Kelly's face a little bit, or in his eyes, and he decided not to take it. Okay, here's the Browns with their first play from the scrimmage. Leroy Kelly and Bo Scott are the setbacks behind quarterback Mike Phipps. The wide receivers are Bear Hooker to the left and Frank Pitts out to the right. And here's the snap and back to throw. Here's the quarterback and Pitts rifles it out there. The ball is fumbled and then intercepted. It is picked up by Doug Swift. Swift has the football. Miami gets the ball at the Cleveland 40-yard line. There's a break. Bill Morin's in on the intended receiver. The ball, Dick Anderson, the safety's covering. The ball bounces off of Morin. It looks like Anderson has it. He loses it, and there comes Doug Swift, much like Franco Harris yesterday, just picking it right off his shoe top, and he's got the interception. One play, that's all Fitz had. He throws, it's intercepted, and here is the slot back out to the right-hand side as the quarterback, Earl Morrow, brings the Dolphins up and gives the handoff to kick, and he goes bootleg to the left, gets to the 40, down to the 39. Shirk is over there. Along with Shirk is Ben Davis, the cornerback on the right side, and Tom Darden, all racing over to cover on the handoff to Jim Kick. In that Miami backfield is Jim Kick, along with Larry Csonka, Earl Morrow doing the quarterbacking. He's number 15. Howard Twilley, number 81, one of the little men in pro football receivers, 5'10", 185. Twilley splits out to the right. The setbacks are spread. In close and tight is Paul Warfield on the left. It is second down 9. Miami from the Cleveland 39. And back to throw goes Morrow. He looks, he throws. Incomplete. If he intended that pass to Paul Warfield and tried to get Warfield to go out and get it, Warfield was not breaking. He was standing at the 38-yard line. Coming into the game is Jim Mandich now. Mandich is coming in to replace Marv Fleming at the tight end for Miami. It will be third down and 9. It looked like, Al, that his initial receiver was Jimmy Kick, who he sent down the near sidelines, and then Kick was covered quite well by number 27, Tom Darden, and then Warfield was in the zone, and he threw it in the direction of Warfield. Up to the line, Warfield out to the left. Splitting wide to the right is Twilley. The tight end is out there, too, and here goes Morrow back, and he needs a big third down play. Way overthrowing his intended receiver, Paul Warfield, at the 20-yard line, and that will bring up fourth down and the kicking team. Coming on to try is the fellow who kicked them from all over the place, Garo Yepremian. And he's had a great year. Yepremian, 115 points on the year, Al, and he has made one from 54 yards as longest, and he's had a pretty good percentage all around. Earl Morrow will do the holding. The ball will be touched down at the 46. The snap, the ball is down, and the kick is on the way. It is no good. It is off to the right. A 46-yard field goal attempt is off to the right. So, with the score, Miami nothing, Cleveland nothing. There's a timeout on the field.
The team statistics and some of the individual statistics are in from that Washington-Green Bay game in which the Redskins took a 16-3 victory over Green Bay, and it's rather indicative of just what happened. Although the first downs were close, Washington with 13, Green Bay with 10, the Green Bay Packers picked up only 78 yards rushing in that ball game. John Brockington, 9 carries. I should say he had 9 yards and 13 carries. And MacArthur Lane, in 14 carries, had 56 yards. And that was just about it. Only 78 yards rushing for the Packers. The Redskins, led by Larry Brown with 25 carries for 101 yards, wound up with 148 yards rushing. The Packers with 133 yards passing, 94 yards passing for the Redskins. The Packers with 12 out of 24 attempts, 1 interception. The Redskins, 7 of 14, and 94 yards passing. But the Green Bay rushing attack held to only 78 yards.
American Forces Radio in the Canal Zone. This is SCN, 790 and 1420.
They call him Den Herder, and whatever. Second-year man from a very small school, Central College in Iowa. But they're gonna get to know about him because he's had a great year. Dan Herder and Bill Stanfield are the defensive ends, Bob Hines and Manny Hernandez the tackles. All right, strong formation to the right now. Phipps sparks out the signals with a second down and 8 from his own 22. Bluffs up the middle, back to throw, throws a little flare pass out, grabbed off by Bo Scott, got at the 25, fights his way to the 26, down at the 26-yard line. Getting up off the bottom is Dick Anderson. Anderson moving over as the safety and making the stop. Coming into the ball game, number 53, Bob Matheson is coming in, and that means very likely we'll have the 5-man. No, we'll have the prevent defense. Bob Hines goes out. Is that right, Bob? That's that 5-3 defense where Bob Matheson can either play as a linebacker or as a defensive end, depending on whether or not he wants to rush. 4 yards on the last play. So it is 3rd down and 4 now for the Cleveland Browns. They have the ball at their own 26-yard line. Wide out to the right is Pitts. Split out to the left is Fair Hooker, and here's the snap, and back goes the quarterback. Pitts has got the time. He throws. Ball batted away. Almost picked off. Monicani over there doing some great coverage. And the man he was covering was Leroy Kelly. Hey, how about Nick Monicani covering Leroy Kelly? Well, I tell you, it's been a great year for Nick. He's done an exceptional job. He led the team in tackles this year as he has done the last 2 years. An 11-year veteran from Notre Dame. The Browns sent 4 receivers down into that Dolphin zone, and there was great coverage. Don Cockcroft, one of the few men that does double duty, plays kick and punt, punting from the 11-yard line. Jake Scott is the lone safety for Miami at about the 35. All right, rush is on. Ball is blocked. Great block there. And it is covered. Picked up and run in for a touchdown for Miami. Charlie Babb is the man who blocks the kick, and Charlie Babb picks it up, runs it in to score. Touchdown, Miami. Put on there, and Charlie Babb, a member of the special teams, got the touchdown, and here's your premier now with the point after. All right, your premier to try the point after, and the man holding is Earl Morrow. Here's the snap, and here's the kick, and it is good. So there's a timeout here at the Orange Bowl with the score, Miami 7, Cleveland nothing. Now this word. Everything has happened in a hurry to the Cleveland Browns. First, an interception on the first offensive thrust on the very first play, thrown by Mike Phipps. And here, the punter on a 4th down has his kick blocked. It's picked up by the man who blocked it, Charlie Babb, and he scores the touchdown. Miami will kick off. Harold Yepremian will do the booting. Ken Brown is back there deep along with Billy LaFleur. And here's the boot. It's a sailor. LaFleur tries to scoop it up. The ball goes between his hands. Back into the end zone, and back to cover it. Billy LaFleur in the end zone. It'll be brought out to the 20. Get a sailor like that, Bob. Bob Halloran, you know, you're one sailing like that. It can do almost anything. It's hard to field. A funny type of kick out by your Premier. I don't think he attempted to make it a split kick because it went pretty high. I'd say about 10 or 15 feet in the air. But those split kicks, that's one of the things. You get a crazy roll. That thing just went like an error on the shortstop. Third chance now for the Cleveland Browns. Out of the huddle they come. Frank Phipps is out wide to the right there. Hooker splits to the left. Now the setbacks move over. Kelly is strong to the left-hand side. Mike Phipps with a 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Browns, calling the signals. As the snap, hands it off, sends Bo Scott barreling over the left tackle. He's out to the 23-yard line, and he just may have made it to the 25. The right tackle of the Miami Dolphins, Bob Hines, was up to make the stop. There's a big boy, number 72, Bob Hines. Defensive right tackle for the Miami Dolphins. Got a starting job in 71. Good pass rusher. He was great in the Super Bowl. 4-year veteran from the Pacific. Gain of 5 yards. Gain of 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 25. Both receivers split wide. I formation in the backfield. Phipps with a 2nd down 5 situation. Pitches it out. Leroy Kelly trying to sweep the end. Turns, gets inside to the 27. And he stopped at the 27-yard line. Actually give credit on that sweep to the outside linebacker, Doug Swift, and the middle linebacker, Nick Bonacani. They came up real quick with great pursuit. They forced him inside, and there was Dick Anderson coming along to put the hit on him, and perhaps a little bit of no gain at all. 3rd down coming up in about 2 for the Cleveland Browns. They trail the Miami Dolphins. We're still in the 1st quarter, 8-12 remaining, 7-0 Dolphins. Bear Hooker goes out of the ball game, and I have a feeling that they'll have both tight ends in there. Number 89, Milborn is in, and Glass is in at the other side, so it is 3rd and 2, short yardage situation. 7-man line stacked there, handoff to Scott. Scott trying to run wide, and he is tripped and brought down as he tried to get outside wide. Mike Colon, the right side linebacker, is responsible for the tackle. That's a great play, Al. Mike Colon sat out last week with a bad ankle. He has his ankle taped up pretty heavily, but I thought a good call. But Colon with that great pursuit coming up from his outside linebacker, putting an ankle-low tackle on him. Jake Scott goes back to field the kick, and Don Cockcroft is in for his 2nd punt. 7 minutes, 21 seconds, the clock running. 1st period, the Orange Bowl. The Dolphins lead the Cleveland Browns 7-0. And here's Cockcroft at the 15. Just gets the kick away. Almost blocked again. Scott holding his hand up, calling for the fair catch. Goes down on a knee. Makes it at the 15-yard line. And it is a good thing he held that hand up there, because sailing down there was number 52, Billy Andrews of the Browns. And if he hadn't called for the fair catch, I got a feeling that Jake Scott would probably be about 6 rows up in the end zone. Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he's perhaps one of the tougher guys on this team. He's kind of a reckless guy. He didn't run kicks back early in the year. They had Charlie Lee back there. But about perhaps thinking about the playoffs and the sure hands of the veteran Jake Scott, Coach Don Shula decided to go with Scott about perhaps with 3 games to go in the season. So with the score, Miami 7 and Cleveland nothing. There's a timeout on the field.
The spectacular ending to Saturday's Pittsburgh-Oakland playoff game continues to stir controversy. The Steelers won it 13-7 on a wild 60-yard pass play with just 5 seconds left. Quarterback Terry Bradshaw fired a pass to John Fuqua on a 4th and 10 play, and the ball arrived at about the same time as Oakland defender Jack Tatum. The ball popped into the air and was picked off by Steeler running back Franco Harris, who carried it 42 yards for the touchdown. Now, according to NFL rules, the touchdown counts if the ball hit the Oakland defender and then bounded to Harris, but not if it bounced off Harris's teammate Fuqua first. Referee Fred Swearingen went to the sideline and contacted Art McNally, a league supervisor. It was first reported that Swearingen did not make his decision on the play until after consulting with McNally, who saw the play several times in instant replay. But Swearingen said later that he made his decision after conferring with the other officials, and that the only reason he talked to McNally in the press box was to inform him that the play was a touchdown.
Time back in a hurry there. Larry Sonka taking a handoff from Earl Morrow, cracking out straight up the middle, comes from the 16-yard line out to the 20. So it'll be Miami second down and 6 with the ball on their 20-yard line. Mercury Morris is in the football game now in the backfield there. He is in along with Larry Sonka, replacing Jim Kick. Here's the handoff over to Warfield on an end around, streaking around the right side to the 25, the 30. Cuts in and gets out to the 40-yard line. Oh, look at him go. Warfield finally pinned there by Charlie Hall, the left side linebacker at the 41-yard line. I got to have a feeling, I've seen Warfield on the end around, but it seems to me he was lined up in the slot there because he came from real just off the tackle, and perhaps a new play, but Miami has not used that end around in several games. At 21 yards, first down for the Miami Dolphins at their own 41-yard line. Warfield is out to the left, Twilly out to the right, and here is the handoff to Kick as he comes back in and takes it right up the middle over the 42, out to about the 43-yard line. Getting up off the bottom there, number 52, Billy Andrews, the right side linebacker, responsible for the stop, and the officials are going to put it down at the 44-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was the 41. They're putting it just over the 44, so we've got to call it the 45. It'll be a gain of 4 yards, and it'll be second down and 6 for Miami. We have 5:24 with the clock running here in the first quarter. Miami leads Cleveland 7-0. Quick snap, back to throw. Maul over the middle. Complete. Beautiful play. Turned in by Howard Twilly at the 45-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Twilly has the first down for Miami at the Miami 44. No question about it. Earl Maul right on target there. Perhaps a little bit high, but Twilly perhaps with the surest hands. Not the most speed, not the greatest moves of the Dolphin receivers, but without question the surest hands. Yes, the great receivers. Slot back out to the left-hand side with the first down Miami at the Cleveland 44. In the slot is Warfield. Here's the handoff, and Sonka is snowed under back at the 46-yard line. Jerry Shirk gets up. Along with Shirk is the big defensive right end, Bob Briggs. Ooh, they were in on him then. This is a fine offensive line that Miami has. Fellows like, Wayne Moore, Doug Cruson at that tackle, Al Jenkins or Bob Kuchenberg in one of the guards, Jim Langer, I might add Larry Little, Norm Evans, fine interior line. Mercury Morris back in the ball game, in the backfield, high formation. It is second down now at about 11 with the ball at the 45-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. And here's a pitch back to Merck, and Merck spins around the corner to the 45, to the 40, out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. I'll give part of the credit on that to Big Larry Zonka leading the way. He put a great block on the defensive end, number 81, Nick Roman. And that gave Mercury just that little bit of running room he needs with that great speed he has. Zonk knocked 81 down to Nick Roman, and Merck was off and running. Jim Mandich now checking in for Marv Fleming. I guess the Dolphins perhaps now there's a little mix-up in the huddle. And out comes Howard Twilly, so they'll be going with 2 tight ends here as they have a third down and about 3. Third and 3, Miami with the ball at the Cleveland 37, and the Browns have had a rough afternoon of it. The handoff is to Sonka. Sonka with his head down over the 35. He got to the 34. It's going to be close. They may pull the sticks, but in the glasses would say it is the first down for Miami. I'll go along with you. Larry started on that play to run to the left side behind his blocking, and for a big guy, had some good moves, and we saw one there because he stopped and saw an opening. He has the first down. As you said, by about half the ball.
That's the third first down. The Miami Dolphins have come up with in the ball game. They lead 7-0. A block punt, the run back in for the touchdown, and the Dolphins were on the scoreboard. The only undefeated team in many, many years. This Miami team, 14-0 on the season. They have the ball over the 34, call it the 33-yard line of the Cleveland Browns with a first down. Earl Morrow, the veteran of 17 years quarterbacking, wide setback, back to throw. Morrow's got plenty of time. He is really hit as he releases the ball, and it is knocked down at the goal line intended for Paul Warfield. The man who knocked it away there looks like Tom Darden.
And it was Al, number 27. Actually, Darden's a little upset with himself because just at the moment that Earl Morrow let go of the ball, he really had a shot put on him by about 2 or 3 of those Cleveland front four people. And the ball was sort of hung up in the air right in front of the goal post, right at about the goal line. The receiver had no chance to get it. Darden went up, Davis went up, and they both actually collided. And that was the result of Darden not making the interception, which upset him so, and rightly so.
Marv Fleming comes out of the game. Jim Mandich back in there at the tight end. Here's Warfield out wide to the left. Willie is out to the right. The setback's the spread. Mercury Mars along with Larry Zonka. Morrow handing off to Zonka. Zonka cracking the left side. Cannot get the running room he needs. And Dale Lindsey moves over there to make the stop along with Bob Briggs. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up a yard and no more than that. Here now is Otto Stowe going into the game for the first time that I've seen this afternoon. He'll go in and as one of the receivers, so they will probably be using the slot back. Zonka comes out. Jim Kick has gone in. Jim Mandich goes out, and Marv Fleming is in there. Now let's check it. As Miami with a 3rd and 9 breaks out. They are going with the slot to the right. Warfield is in the slot to the right. And here is Earl Morrow back at the 40, looking and throwing to the sideline. Incomplete. Oh, Twilly had his hands on it. Nope, out of the backfield. That was Jim Kick who had his hands on the ball at the 25-yard line and couldn't hold on. A twisting attempt to make a catch that was almost impossible.
That's one of those things. He's running to the far sidelines, and he's looking over his right shoulder, and then the ball comes over his left shoulder, and he's going to make a quick turn. Perhaps one of the most difficult passes to catch for any receiver.
An attempted field goal coming up. Garo Yefremian. 24 field goals on the year, the longest from 54 yards out. Earl Morrow will place the ball, spotted at the 40-yard line, so it is not a long one. Here's the snap. The ball is down, and the boot is on the way, and this one is good. It is good. It is good. There's a flag down there on the field, however. It was against Cleveland.
Al, I think the left defensive end, Nick Roman, just sort of beat the snap of the ball and just got his headgear over. So the field goal goes from 40 yards by Gary Yefremian. He's now 1 for 2, earlier missing one from 46 yards.
I want to take a moment here now to talk with our football fans across the country and around the world and mention this. Mutual brings you the Sugar Bowl Football Classic on New Year's Eve night. That's December 31st at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a great game with Oklahoma battling Penn State. Chuck Fairbanks' great team, the Sooners, against Joe Paterno's Penn State Ball Club. It'll be the biggest New Year's Eve party in America. It's another Mutual Radio Network exclusive, the Sugar Bowl Football Classic. New Year's Eve night, December 31st. Here's the kickoff. Miami boots. It is down deep. Waiting on the ball and taking it at the 10, the 15, the 20, and wrapped down at the 25-yard line. Oh, what a lick. Billy LaFleur running the ball back was really blasted down at the 25.
And he was blasted down by that man that they named the defense after, Bob Matheson, number 53. He just collared him right around the neck and just took his feet right from under him. So it's the Browns ball at about the 25. And they trail the Miami Dolphins 10-0 here late in the first quarter.
Phipps with a first down at the 25-yard line. Sets Kelly to the left. Bo Scott right behind him. Both receivers are split out.
on the handoff and right up the middle. Nice play with the ball is Scott out to the 40, on his way to the 43. Moving over quickly to make the stop is Dick Anderson. Anderson coming up. Moved up the middle. Jake Scott helping. So the two safeties responsible for pinning a fellow named Bo Scott, who incidentally played in the Canadian Football League in 1969. He has great long strides, an excellent receiver, and they say a very punishing runner. When you hit him, you know that you have done a job. First down, Cleveland, their 43-yard line. High formation. And that is the first down for the Cleveland Browns in the ball game. Now they shift into the pro set. Pitts and Hooker are spread out. Fumble football. Phipps has the ball, though. Ball's on it at the 41-yard line. Put his hands out there, and the snap from Bob DeMarco went off of his hand. He just tumbled right on top of it at the 41, losing 2 yards. Bob Hines comes out of the ball game, and I believe Maldy Moore has gone in, or is it Bob Matheson? So we've got the 5-3 coming up. That's the defensive alignment. And oddly enough, that's the same number that Bob Matheson wears. 5-3, number 53, the 6-year veteran from Duke. Second down and 12. Cleveland at their own 41. The Browns trail by a score of 10-0. Here's the snap and the handoff, and right up the middle with the ball is Bo Scott, and he's got running room out to the midfield and down to the 45-yard line into Miami territory. A good call, Al, because Miami went to that 5-3, and I watched Bob Matheson. He faked the charge and went back to defend and actually got a hand in on the tackle, but a good call by the quarterback Phipps, finding a big hole in the left side of the Miami Dolphin defense in front 4. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They may not get another playoff before the end of the quarter. 1 second. The clock is run out. So that is the end of the first quarter here at the Orange Bowl with the score. The Miami Dolphins 10. The Cleveland Browns nothing.
Roger Staubach struck for a pair of touchdown passes in the final 2 minutes to give Dallas an uphill 30-28 victory over San Francisco in the opening round of the National Conference playoffs on Saturday. The 49ers, who converted 3 Dallas turnovers into touchdowns, held a 28-16 lead with a little more than 2 minutes remaining when Staubach swung into action. Staubach connected on a 20-yard throw to Billy Parks with a minute and a half left. Then, after Mel Renfro recovered an onside kick at the 50, Staubach went the distance in just 3 plays, hitting Ron Sellers on a 10-yarder for the winning score. The 49ers scored 3 times on 1-yard plunges by Larry Schreiber, each following Dallas turnovers, and Vic Washington's 97-yard return of the opening kickoff. That marks the 3rd straight year that Dallas has eliminated the 49ers in postseason play. So the Dallas Cowboys will meet the Washington Redskins for the National Football Conference playoff next Sunday. Washington a 16-3 winner over the Green Bay Packers.
Miami leads in this football game 10-0, and Cleveland just coming to life now as we start the second period. Mutual Sports, happy to have you across the country and around the world on the American Forces Radio, listening to the National Football League playoff action. Bo Scott this afternoon has carried the ball 4 times, rolled up 37 yards. That last run by Scott, important. It put the ball on the Miami 44-yard line, and it makes it first down for Cleveland. So the Browns, when they put it into play here to start the second quarter, Bob Allerin, I would imagine they will work strongly on that ground game. They'll try to keep Scott going with the football. Well, they were 11th in the league in rushing offense, averaging 128.1 yards per game, but not too many clubs. Of course, Miami statistically in all departments very strong, especially against the rush, but last couple of series, a couple of good runs by the Cleveland running back. Phipps has the Browns up to the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line of Miami. Setbacks are strong to the left. Hooker and Pitts are split out, and here's the handoff, and Scott's running with the ball. He's down to the 40-yard line as he cracks over the right tackle. At the 40-yard line, the man who pins him is Doug Swift, the left linebacker. Scott was the ball carrier. told me that Doug Swift, who plays in his third year from Amherst, is the only man from Amherst to ever make first team in pro football.
You're exactly right. I was talking to him about it recently. I said, "Did they ever invite you back there?" He said, "They still don't believe I'm playing."
All right, a gain of 4 yards on the play, of 5 yards, let's call it. Second down and 5. Back to throw is 50. He'll throw. No, he's going to run. Wide to the right. They're chasing him at the 35. He's down to the 30. He is to the 25. Fumbles the football. Did Miami recover before it went out of bounds? The official says that the ball was blown dead. He was pursued by Vern Denherter. By golly, that is a tough name to say, Halloran.
I've been saying it since June, and I'm for 2 years now, and I'm just about getting to where I know it. But he had plenty of running room out there, and did pick up. But I'm sure that Coach Storage, because that linebacker was coming up and had dead aim on quarterback Phipps there. But Mike got out of it okay, and he's got a first down.
Got a first down at the 25-yard line of the Dolphins. This is the deepest penetration for Cleveland. We're in the second quarter, and the Dolphins lead 10-0. Phipps from the eye. The handoff is given off to number 30 there, to Ken Brown, who just came into the game, and Ken Brown is sacked right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gained a half yard. I don't believe it. Half a yard gain on it. Let's give him a yard. Call it second down and 9. The ball is over the 25. Defensive front four, Bill Stanfield, Bob Hines, Manny Fernandez, and Vern Denherter. Strong right with the setback behind Phipps, and here he goes with second and 9. Back to throw. Looks, throws into the end zone. Off the fingertips of Frank Pitts. Pitts had the football on his fingertips. He had them beaten. He had found the crease, and he was going for broke. Jake Scott and Tim Foley were the two men trying to catch him, but he couldn't hold on to it.
He's a big guy, Al. That Pitts, he's got great speed. He came to them from Kansas City, and there's no question, as you said, he had Jake Scott, and he also had a little bit of double coverage out there with Tim Foley, but he sort of ran towards the goalpost and then in about face and went to the far corner of the field, and he had him beat by about 5 yards, but the pass just a little bit long by Mike Phipps. Okay, third down coming up.
Mike Phipps has completed only 1 of 4 for 4 yards so far. Here's a third and 9 situation. Phipps is back to throw again. He'll put it in the air, and he does. Intercepted by Miami at the 7-yard line. With the football is Curtis Johnson to the 25, the 30, the 35. He is knocked down at the 39-yard line.
Completely overthrew him and just right into the waiting arm of Curtis Johnson. But we have another turnover, and as we said before the game, the Dolphins force you into mistakes, and that's another one against the Browns.
Ball brings them up to the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins have the ball at their own 40 with a first down. They lead 10-0. High formation with Kinsaka, and Saka straight up the middle with a handoff. He just blasted right out there. Some great blocking in the middle of that line, and if Kuchenberg is hurt, brother, I don't want to see him when he's well. He just blasted that hole open there for Big Larry Zonka out to the 47-yard line. The Dolphins carry the ball. Kick comes to the sideline on the Miami side, and their bench is directly below us. I can see Don Schuler down along the sideline. Sonkenhouse carried 6 times for 17 yards. The Dolphins now with a second down 4 situation from their 46-yard line. They have 20 out to the right, and split out to the left is Paul Warfield. And here's a handoff, and it is given to Mercury Morris, and he spins out of one tackle. He gets to the midfield stripe. He's still on his feet. He's down to the Cleveland 48-yard line. It looked for a while like Mercury Morris was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Somebody put a hat on him at about about waist high, sort of brought him right upright, and instead of falling down, he kept his feet with that great balance that Mercury Morris has, and he went ahead for about 5 more yards and a first down.
He is really a great rusher. Mercury Morris. And if I'm not wrong, well, he's a 1,000-yard man. He got the 9 yards. I think you talked to Mercury at halftime, don't you?
We talk about that. He explains what happened.
All right, here we go with the first down. Miami, the ball never got out of the hand of the center. Jim Langer didn't snap the football. Everybody was moving. Everybody started backing up on the Miami team, and everybody was coming on the Browns team. So it's going to be a legal motion. 5 yards stepped off against Miami. The original line of scrimmage down there is the 47-yard line of the Browns, and now it goes back to the 48-yard line of Miami.
Talking about Mercury Morris, Coach Shula concerned all week. It was obvious watching Mercury in practice this week that the ankle was bothering him, that he injured trying to get that 1,000 yards last week in this ball game here at the Orange Bowl. But he appears to show no ill effects of that ankle. He's running with a great deal of authority.
Warfield splits out to the left. Howard Twilley is out to the right, about 8 yards. The setback strong to the right, and here's the handoff. Mercury Morris spinning around the left end. He's over the midfield stripe and across from the sidelines right in front of the Cleveland bench. Knocked out of bounds at about the 46-yard line by Billy Andrews. Andrews, the 13th round draft choice back in 1967. He is from southeastern Louisiana, a 6-year veteran now. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year with the Browns. All right, second down coming up. Miami up on the line. Second down and about 8. The draw. Morris can't get away. Flags on the play. Mercury took the handoff from Earl Morrow and was snowed under right away. Billy Andrews was in on it. He's getting up down there on the bottom, along with Walter Johnson, the big tackle. I see the flags were dropped for apparently a call against the Dolphins. They're talking to the captain right now. Dale Lindsey is holding up his hand, looking to the Cleveland bench to Nick Skorich. Offside penalty against the Dolphins. It is refused by Cleveland. Here is Zonka coming back in, and Jim Kick is going out. So had come into the ball game and was split to the left, with Warfield in the slot to the right with Howard Twilley. And boy, if that wasn't going for broke. Otto Stowe was at the 10-yard line fighting Ben Davis all the way.
That was an example of perfect one-on-one coverage by Ben Davis on the Iowa State boy Otto Stowe. Okay, you're Premian in now for a field goal to step out.
Field goal attempt. Earl Morrow the hold. Gary Euphemian the kick. This will be touched down at the 47-yard line. 46-yard line. The kick is up. It's on the way, but is it long enough? It is wide. It's wide to the left. That might have fallen in there, Bob Halloran. It might have. Had it been just a little over to the right.
Well, actually, Al, he kicked that from about the 53, and that's almost a little bit out of his range, although he has made one from 54 yards.
So with the score here at the Orange Bowl, the Miami Dolphins 10, the Cleveland Browns nothing. There's a timeout on the field now. We'll call it second down and 6. Cleveland with the ball at the 24-yard line. Phipps has his setback spread, Leroy Kelly and Bo Scott. Phipps is back to throw, looks and comes to the near sideline, way over the head of the intended receiver, Bear Hooker.
come off of the bench. Don Schuler, the coach, made the catch on that one. 3rd and 6. Cleveland at their 24. 5th. Will try and put it in the air again. Rushes on. He is sacked back at the 14-yard line. Bob Matheson. Manville, Vern Denherter, Bob Matheson in on the sacking. He had plenty of time to throw that thing. He just waited and waited. The Dolphins had great coverage out there, but you can't wait too long. And that's what happened. There's a loss of about 9 yards, and it will be 4th down and 15, and back into punt formation. Cockcroft standing in the end zone. Scott of the Dolphins, along with Dick Anderson, waiting for the punt. Scott has it at the Dolphin 42, tries to come back, and is cut down almost immediately. Blasted down there by John Garlington. 42 yards on that punt. No return. The ball at the Miami 42-yard line. 8 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Dolphins lead the Cleveland Browns 10 big points. So, with the score, Miami 10, Cleveland nothing. Playing field, Earl Morrow back in the pocket and puts one long. He throws long down the field for Paul Warfield at the 25-yard line of the Browns. He was followed all the way by Ben Davis, and the ball is out of bounds. He cannot play it in the playing field. Ball comes back to the 42-yard line. Miami's 42. They have a second down, 10 coming up. Earl Morrow has now completed only 1 of 7 attempts for only 11 yards. Up to the line they come. Twilly is out wide to the right. Warfield is split to the left. I formation in the backfield. Kick and Sonker in there. And here's the handoff to Kick, and Kick is blasted down. Oh, Briggs came through with a devastating tackle back at the 38-yard line. Somebody missed the block. Somebody had to miss the block, Bob. This running game of the Dolphins, which is considered about the strongest there is in at least their conference and perhaps in all of football, is not going that well thus far. Neither is the passing game, as we just said. I think the Dolphins' total yardage rushing about 63, 64 yards. Sanka has carried 8 times for only 20 yards. 3rd, and a loss of 3 on that play. 3rd and 13. Miami at that 39-yard line. Back to throw. Morrow. Look, he'll have to run. He's going with the football and caught from behind at the 42-yard line by Walter Johnson. The big left tackle of the Browns running down from behind. Al, he's trying to go for Paul Warfield. I've been watching Warfield and the 5-year veteran, Ben Davis. And I know that Warfield, a couple of plays ago, put on some great moves on Davis where the pass was a little bit overthrown, but it's interesting, and we'll be watching that, and that's who Earl was trying to hit at that time, but of course he had to run out, so the Dolphins are back now to punt. Larry Sappel has kicked 1 time, 52 yards, standing on the 27-yard line. For the Browns, Leroy Kelly would be the man they'd want to kick to. Tom Darden is back there, calls for the fair catch, however, and makes it at about the 21-yard line. So the Browns will put it in play now. They take over at their own 21-yard line. 6 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here in the first half from the Orange Bowl in Miami. Al Wester, along with Bob Holloran, Rusty Wester, and our Mutual Network crew. There is a timeout down there on the field now with the score. The Miami Dolphins 10, the Cleveland Browns nothing. Cleveland has possession 41-yard line. Phipps has him up to the line of scrimmage, and he's having a miserable afternoon of it. He just has not been able to get the ball in the air and get it completed. Now here's the handoff. Bo Scott has the ball. He's hit down at the line of scrimmage as he tries the counter. Coming up to make the stop with Mike Colon. The linebacker on the right side. They call him Captain Crunch because he is that kind of tackler. And here comes old 5-3. Bob Matheson's coming in. And going out is Bob Hines, the right tackle of the Dolphins. So it'll be a 5-3 defense set up. Scott has carried 7 times for 45 yards, which is pretty good. That's the best running of the afternoon. Both receivers are split for Cleveland with a second down and 10. Phipps has time to throw. He looks and rifles it. Got his man. Great catch at the 48-yard line. Oh, Leroy Kelly made a great catch there. Jumping up and down is Jim Foley because Foley says he had a piece of the football. Leroy Kelly for the first down. Well, we just talked about Mike Phipps not being able to put that ball where he wants it, but he did it right there. That was a great throw and a great catch, and you can't blame Foley too much because he was right on the man, right on Kelly. But Kelly is a seasoned player. He's been around a long time. He not only runs great, he catches great, and he showed it right there. So the Browns now, for the first time, are in some decent field position. First and 10 for the Browns at their own 49-yard line. That's Barrett Hooker split out wide to the left. Back to throw with Phipps going down the right side. 2 pitch goes the football. Phipps. Mike Phipps firing that football to the 38-yard line, in and out of the hands of number 25, Frank Pitts. But we've got flags on the play. The initial indication is that there's a motion penalty against the Cleveland Browns. The flag thrown in the Cleveland Brown backfield just after the start of the play. The Dolphins will probably refuse, and they do. So it'll be second down for the Browns, and they are at the 48, their own 48. And they trail in this game with 5:13 remaining in the half, 10-0. The Dolphins in front with a touchdown and a field goal. Second down coming up. Cleveland at the 49-yard line, their own 49. Hooker comes wide to the left. Frank Pitts wide out to the right. The setback, Leroy Kelly and Bo Scott. Mike Phipps is under the center. Bob DeMarco over the ball. Big second down play due. 4-man front. Looks like they may put a 3-man, 4-man rush on, and it is. Handing it off there to Kelly, and Kelly trying it, and the man who wrapped around it very quickly was middle linebacker Nick Bonaconti. Bonaconti at the last moment, the last second, made the jump from the right side to the left side, went right in the hole, and he was in there to meet the runner. The Dolphins are a club that do not blitz that much. I was talking to Mike Phipps. He says they do not blitz once in a while, but once in a while a linebacker like Bonaconti did will just shoot that gap, and he timed that perfect and made the big play. That's a 3-man front up there now. And again, Bonaconti is coming. Phipps is back to throw. Throws over the line. Caught and then dropped. Into the hands of Bo Scott. And knocked out of his hands by Bob Matheson. So the threat of the forward pass by the Cleveland Browns goes for the boards, and they have a 4th down. 4th and 10. On their own 49-yard line. Cockcroft to do the kicking. He has had 1 block that turned into a touchdown. Got off 1 for 54, another for 43. Jake Scott is down deep around the 10-yard line. Up in front of him is Dick Anderson. Snap is high. He's going to have to run with the football. He is down at the 40-yard line, and the officials say his knee hit at the 39. So the football is going over to the Miami Dolphins on the Cleveland 39. That's just a break for the Dolphins because they did not have a particularly big rush on there. Some of those people, Mumford and Johnson, who chance to go up. He couldn't control the ball. Jim Mandich, the tight end, brushed him. He's on the special team force. The recovery right there. Miami's ball, 1st and 10 on the Cleveland 39-yard line. Merle handing it off. Zonka trying the left tackle. He's got somebody home there. A big fella named Bob Briggs, who just wrapped him down at about the 38. Briggs has big hands. Big defensive right end of the Browns. Comes from a little school also, Heidelberg. He was signed as a free agent and released by San Diego back in 1970 and picked up by Cleveland. But they say he has a pair of the biggest hands in football. And he's a meat cutter, I'm told. It is 2nd down and 9, a gain of a yard. Only one man on the double wing there. Hand off to Sonka. Sonka turning the corner. He's at the 40. He's down to the 38. There's a flag laying there at the 38-yard line, though. I have a feeling we may have a motion penalty coming up there. Flag on the play. The ball is down at the 35-yard line. That's where Larry finally was stopped. It's holding. Offensive holding against the Miami Dolphins. What a beautiful afternoon this started out to be, and it is at the moment. In the 70s, Miami, Florida, a tropical paradise. And truly, just that, Bob Halloran. I envy the fact that you enjoy all of this magnificent sunshine throughout the winter months. Well, I'll tell you, I don't miss that snow too much, really. I like these kind of days. There isn't a cloud in the sky here. There's a holding penalty against the Dolphins. I think it might have been against Larry Little. He was pulling out to lead Zonka around that left side, and he didn't get out there fast enough, and I think it was 84, Briggs, who shot in. And Larry might have just grabbed onto his jersey a little bit, trying to get away with something. You sound like a fella who's trying to justify robbing a bank. Well, he's an all-pro, man, Larry Little. I don't want him mad at me. All right, it is 2nd down and 25. Earl Morrow has his back spread in the pro set. Bluffs up the middle with some play action. He's back, and he is blasted back at the 36-yard line. Walter Johnson, the big guy from Cal State, L.A., came roaring through there. He's the man that holds that front four together for the Cleveland Browns. Incidentally, Art Modell, great friend of ours, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, sitting in the booth over to our left and just waving his hand a few moments ago to say hello. Back at the 38-yard line of the Dolphins, they still have possession. But let's just get the old adding machine out now and try to figure this one up. It's 3rd down and about 34 yards to go, and that's a lot of real estate to cover, Bob Halloran, if you're going for a first down. 3rd and 34. I'd imagine 80,000 people are going to call this play. Okay. Fully splits out wide to the right. Warfield is in the slot to the right. Out wide to the left is Jim Mandich, and here's the handoff to number 22, Mercury Morris, and Morris is caught behind the line back at the 26. Nick Roman smelled this one out. Mercury coming around, taking a handoff from Earl Morrow, caught way behind the line back at the 27-yard line, and I gotta believe that it's going to be about 40-odd yards for a first down. But Cleveland apparently is going to take a timeout. So, with the score, the Miami Dolphins 10, the Cleveland Browns nothing. Well, Bob is it happens. We've been had, buddy. They call time in quickly. They punted the Browns with a fair catch at their own 25-yard line, and Cleveland has the first down there. Now Mike Fitz will have to hurry. Sets up the screen. Throws it out to Bo Scott at the 25. He's up to the 30. Scott is on his way to about the 33-yard line. Hit down across the way by Nick Anderson and Tim Foley. The ball will be brought in at about the 34-yard line. It's going to be short of enough for a first down, so it'll be 2nd down and 1. 2nd and 1 with the ball at the Cleveland 34. Fifth, Kelly, Scott, Frank Fitz in the backfield. Fair Hooker wide to the left. Pitts is out to the right. A slot to the left is Kelly. Here's the handoff to Scott up the middle to the 40, on his way to the 45, and wrapped down by Doug Swift, the left side linebacker. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. The clock running, the 2-minute warning coming up. Ball at the Cleveland 46, the first down for Cleveland there. 2 seconds. Back goes the quarterback. Pitts looks, he throws long. Intercepted by Miami. Picks it off with Dick Anderson. Anderson makes the pickoff just as he reached the 2-minute mark. Anderson picks it off as we reach the 2-minute mark. That is his 4th interception of the year. He had 3 during regular season play. And the officials down below are indicating now that they have reached that point. There's actually 1 minute 55 seconds remaining. Al Wester along with Bob Halloran, Rusty Wester, and our mutual network crew here. All right, the 2-minute warning is over, and the Miami Dolphins take over with a first down at their 29-yard line, and there's the handoff. Carrying that football is Larry Saka, and Saka cuts over the left tackle, gets it out to the 30-yard line. He may have picked up a yard from the 29 to the 30. The 2-minute drill now, I formation. The handoff, and Warfield on an end around comes to the 30, the 35, to the 40, the 45, out of bounds at the 49-yard line, and crossing over to make the tackle was Jerry Shirk, the big defensive right tackle of the Cleveland Browns. Or Warfield on the end around might have really carried it down all the way. This is a little unusual for Coach Shula's team. You know, they've gone to the Statue of Liberty. We've seen the end around with Paul Warfield on 2 occasions now. Perhaps because they can't run the ball with Zonk and Kick, that they go into some of this razzle-dazzle. A little unusual for Coach Don Shula's coach team. Warfield now has carried twice in the ball game. He has 2 rushes for 42 yards. Might be the leading rusher. Miami with a first down at the midfield stripe. Out wide to the right is Twilly. Back goes Marl to throw. He looks and he pops one out there into the hands of Jim Kick. Kick makes the catch at the Cleveland 45-yard line, and Dale Lindsey makes the tackle. Well, that's going to call for a timeout to stop the clock. The Dolphins, with 1 minute and 21 seconds, would like to get on the scoreboard again. They lead the Cleveland Browns 10-0, and Miami under Don Shula has played some tremendous football. There is no doubt in anyone's mind about how good this football team is. The no-name defense is what they call that defensive unit. A lot of the guys say the only name I can remember is Nick Bonaconti. All right, Nick's been around a long time. But something gels in that defense. Now, this Cleveland Brown football team has had a good year, too. 10-4, remember? Right at the moment the door has been shut in their face, they're shut out 10-0. And there's 1 minute 21 remaining here before halftime. Look down, Al, at Earl Morrall now discussing the situation with Don Shula. Interesting to see Monty Clark, an assistant, looking on, and right beside him, the fellow with the jacket on is none other than Bob Greasy. Now, the backup quarterback has been Jim Delgazo because of Greasy's injury, but Delgazo was put on the taxi squad, so that means, in case he needs him, Bob Greasy is ready to play. He did get into play a little bit towards the end of the final regular season game last week. We'll find out in just a few moments now as the Dolphins are moving here. 1:21 remaining. They're in front, 10-0 here at a beautiful afternoon, Christmas Eve afternoon at the Orange Bowl. Miami with the ball at the Cleveland 45-yard line. Second down, 5 to go. Setbacks are spread. Throw formation. Back goes Morrow looking and throwing over the head. There's a flag on the play down there, and the man he was apparently going to throw to was Paul Warfield. Warfield was too far. I don't know what the flag was for. Was it holding? It was holding. It was holding against the Cleveland Browns. So from the 45-yard line, the line of scrimmage. A 5-yard penalty is stepped off. It is the first down for Miami. Coming to the sidelines is Jim Kick, being replaced in the offensive backfield. Mercury Mars, one of the two. And this is the first time ever in the National Football League two men in the same backfield have acquired 1,000 yards. He and Larry Csonka both have. Mars and Csonka are in there. Mandich is in, and he split out to the right. Here's the handoff to Mercury, right up the middle to the 30-yard line. Still on his feet to the 28. And finally, he is ridden down at the 28-yard line by linebacker Charlie Hall. Now that's a delayed draw to the running back, Mercury Mars. He saw the quarterback hesitate. Merck hesitates. The line does their blocking assignments, and you could see the hole forming from up here. And then with that great burst of speed, the quickness of Mercury Mars, he's off and running, and he's down to the 28-yard line. It's the first down for the Dolphins. I was going to say a few moments ago that with about 1:41 remaining and the Dolphins deep in their own territory, I thought that perhaps, Al, they may just kill the clock. Earl Morrow didn't appear to go into the 2-minute drill. He gave it to Csonka on the play and into the middle of the line. Then he pulled that end around with Warfield, and when Paul, I think, picked up 18 or so or 20 yards, they got better field position, and now they're trying to go for it. And on that play, Mercury Mars trying desperately to get out of bounds and kill the clock, so they didn't have to call that timeout, but they did have to call a timeout. But they are now at the 28-yard line. Should they not score, it is 1st and 10. Oh, surely, Gary, your Premium will come in and try to make it 13-0. The Dolphins front of Cleveland here just before halftime. I think it's interesting to note unofficially that Miami has 66 yards rushing and only 16 yards passing, 66 rushing, 16 passing. They have thrown 9 passes and completed only 2. 22 yards rushing belongs to Larry Csonka, 16 to Mercury Mars, and only 4 yards to Jim Kick. Warfield with 2 carries, 41 yards. All right, Miami now lines up with a first down at the 28-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. And here's the pitch out, and it's Mars taking it wide to the right, trying to turn the corner. Can't make the turn because Nick Roman is there, the big left end of the Browns. Is right around his ankles. He may have picked up a yard, and that is about all. A running play, so the clock continues to go. 48 seconds, 47, 46. Miami in a hurry now to get it off. Play action, a handoff. Beautiful handoff and slanting off the right side. Mars to the 15. He's inside the 15. He's at the 10, 12-yard line. Dale Lindsey makes the tackle, and Miami hurriedly lines up. 23 seconds. The clock is running. Back goes Morrow to throw. Throws to the sidelines. It is caught and out of bounds with the football down there. After making the catch, a great one was Howard Twilley. And more important now, let's stop the clock because they were running into trouble. It's only 17 seconds. They started to play with about 26 seconds remaining. Had they not been able to stop the clock, they've run out of timeout. But now they have it. And they also have the ball deep there at about the 8-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. So here go the Dolphins with an excellent opportunity to put some more points on this board before halftime. 17 seconds remaining. I don't believe they want Garrow putting his foot into the ball. Right now, Earl wants to get another touchdown up there. He'd like a 17-zip lead. And wide to the left goes Paul Warfield. Out to the right is Howard Twilley. The setbacks are wide, and Morrill is back to throw. He's going to run, and he was blasted at the 10-yard line. Morrill really got the scissors put on him there at the 10-yard line by Roman and by Jerry Shirk. Now, a timeout is called by Miami. They have possession at their 10-yard line. They lost it a couple of yards, so now they have a 3rd and 8 coming up. And the Dolphins threatening once again. That threat has got to become a reality, and very quickly now. Mercury Mars comes out. Jim Kick is in. The running backs are Kick and Sanka. Morrow hands up into the center, waiting for the snap. Has the football backing straight up, 5-6 yard look. He's going to try to run, but he's left up by Nick Roman. They're blocking in the line there. They're blocking in the line, all right, but they're certainly not blocking, expecting Morrow to come back up there. Now, Ukrainian comes in. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, against the clock. Garrow Boots, the kick is up. A flag is down. The ball is between the uprights as the clock runs out. But what does the official say now? That flag is at the 10-yard line. Well held, and Ukrainian kicked the football. But it is going to be a penalty stepped off, apparently against Miami, and Garrow may have to do it again. Well, the good thing is that he made it, because even if the penalty is against the Dolphins, they've got to take the penalty, and the time is out, so the clock doesn't start until he gets to kick it again. So he does get to kick it, so they accomplished what they were trying to do. But I guess when he kicked it, there was well, there goes the gun now. Now what's happened here, Al? There'll be no field goal. There'll be no field goal allowed, and no attempt at the field goal, because the last play, this last play was responsible, the rush of the last play was responsible for the motion that created the penalty. So, that's the end of the first half here at the Orange Bowl. With a score of the Miami Dolphins 10, the Cleveland Browns nothing. The first down coming up to their 19-yard line. Mike Phipps brings them up to the line of scrimmage with a first down for Cleveland at their 19-yard line. Bo Scott and Leroy Kelly are the setbacks in the eye behind him, and it is Scott who takes the hand off, gets back to the 20-yard line, coming straight up the middle. Bill Stanfield, along with Manny Fernandez, are responsible for the tackle. You can hear those jumbo jets as they sail by right outside of our booth, because here in the Orange Bowl, we are up. We are looking right down onto the playing field. On our side, the Miami Dolphins. Across the way, we look into the bench of the Cleveland Browns. It is 2nd down and 9. The ball at the Cleveland 20. The I formation again. Phipps checking, taking the snap. The guard pulls. He hands off. Kelly blasts right behind him, following Gene Hickerson out to the 25-yard line. And he is piled up at the 25. Swift and Bonacotti are responsible for the stop. Looked like he checked off there, Phipps. Manny Fernandez, the offensive front four, had a little different alignment. Manny Fernandez was nose on. Bob DeMarco, the center. The other tackle was sort of a wide split. And he checked off and didn't make too much difference there. Got just a couple of yards. All right, here are the Browns now with a 3rd down and 3 situation. They have the ball at their 26-yard line. Hooker and Pitts are split out. Long count, snap and handoff, and driving straight forward with the ball. Both got a stop short. He didn't get it. I do not believe he did. They are marking about the 28-yard line, and he had to go to the 29 for a first down, so it will be 4th down for Cleveland as they fail to come up with the first down yardage. Don Cockcroft into the ball game. He'll do the kicking. Back deep, number 13, Jake Scott, All-American, All-AFC. Couldn't play in the Pro Bowl, though, because he broke his wrist last year. Dropping back to help him, short man, Dick Anderson. Cockcroft waiting for the ball at the 15, steps forward, has the time. End over end kick, called for by Anderson. He makes the catch. Fair catch at the 40, and Miami has excellent field position. You see Jake Scott on that? Anderson was a short man. Jake Scott was a deep man. And Jake Scott, as I said, he's a reckless guy. He just came barreling up there like he wanted to take that thing on the dead run and sort of almost bumped into Dick Anderson, who had called for the fair catch. So it's good field position as we're underway here early in the second half. Miami in front, 10-0. In the backfield, Mercury Morris with Larry Sonker are the setbacks. They're strong to the left. The quarterback is Earl Marl. He hands it off to Mercury Morris, and Morris coming up the middle gets over the 40, out to the 42, and on to the 43-yard line. Walter Johnson is down on the bottom. Bob Briggs is there. Two big linemen for the Cleveland football team. There's Briggs and Nick Roman at the ends. Jerry Shirk and Walt Johnson at the tackles. The linebackers for Cleveland, Charlie Hall on the left, Dale Lindsey in the middle, and Billy Andrews on the right. Ben Davis and Clarence Scott are the corners, and the safeties are Walt Sumner and Tom Darden. There's a gain of 3 yards on the play. Call it 4. It'll be second down, 6 for Miami from their own 44. And here's the big man himself, Larry Sonka, taking the handoff and blasting his way out to the 49-yard line before Dale Lindsey finally stops him short of the first down. It looks like Don Shula wants to give that Cleveland front four a test early here in the second half. We've seen a couple of plays. Mercury Morris up the middle. Now Larry Zonka the follow up the middle. They didn't make much yardage going that route the first half. Of course, it may be a different story. Guys do get tired. Certainly the lights now are on here at the Orange Bowl as the field nearly covered now. 3rd and 2, short yardage. Both tight ends, Fleming and Mandich, are in there. They're in tight with the split in tight also. Here's the snap and the handoff, and cracking the right side. Sonka tries to get the yard and can't do it. He's stopped at the 49-yard line. Jerry Shirk gets up off the pile along with Johnson and Charlie Hall, the left side linebacker. 4th down. Miami can't get the 10 necessary in 3. They'll have to put it in the air. The ball just over their 48. Call it the 49. Larry Seipel. Larry Seipel in to do the kicking. 52, 37, and 48. 3 kicks he's made so far. Leroy Kelly. And along with him, Tom Darden deep to receive. Darden is the man they're kicking towards. He has it at the 18. Back to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the midfield stripe. He's down to the 45 of Miami and tripped up there. Great run back there. A great run back. And the man who caught him, 34 yards on the run back. Darden caught that ball on a dead run going to the far side, and the Dolphins coverage was more or less coming down the middle, so catching it on a dead run, he had a lot of speed under him already, and he made a fine run, just tight-roping down the far sideline, right close to the Cleveland bench. Darden has run back 15 kicks for about 61 yards thus far this year. We have a timeout, and with the score, Miami 10, Cleveland nothing. As Earl dropping back to throw for Cleveland, quarterback Mike Phipps, and he rifles one out there. It's caught by Milt Morin at the 30-yard line, and Morin has battled his way down to the 23-yard line. So the Browns now are roaring. There's a timeout, a short one, called back into play. A little early for us there. The officials are not watching those watches closely, not getting the full time that we need. First down for Cleveland on the 23-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. And Mike Phipps, the quarterback, with his hands under the center, waiting for the snap from Bob DeMarco, gives it off to Scott. Scott almost fumbles, then blasts his way over the left tackle down to the 20 and on to the 18-yard line. Brendan Herter is responsible for the stop there. Phipps handed that football off a little oddly. He shoved it to both Scott, and Scott almost dropped the football. He had to contain it. We have 8 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter here at the Orange Bowl. The NFL playoff game between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins, and it's 10-0 Miami. Cleveland down on the Miami 18-yard line. Waiting for the snap is the quarterback, Phipps. He has the ball. He's back to throw and goes to the sideline. Great catch. And out of bounds with the ball is Fair Hooker inside the 10-yard line. He's run out over there by Curtis Johnson. This is the first time in this ballgame that Phipps has really had that excellent field position, and he's taken it to his advantage. A good pass to Moore in the tight tight end for the first time going to the tight end. Then a quick out pass to the sideline to Fair Hooker. And the Browns are threatening here as they trail 10-0. Cleveland breaks the huddle. Here they come with a first and goal at the 9-yard line. Hooker is out wide to the left. Frank Fitz is split to the right. Kelly and Scott are the setbacks, and Phipps with the long count. Mike has the football, gives it off to Scott. He pauses, hesitates, then goes into the hole and gets down to about the 6-yard line. Nick Bonicani and Jake Scott, the safety and middle linebacker of Miami, are wrapped around him as they unpile. This looks like it's getting interesting. Actually, the first half a little bit on the dull side with Miami in front 10-0. But here are the Browns now early in the third quarter, and they're on the move very much so. It's about the 5.5-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. We'll see what that Dolphin defense can come up with here. Scott's 12th carry of the ball game. He has 68 yards so far. Second down, goal to go. Cleveland at the 5-yard line. A 4-yard carry on the last one. Here's Phipps rolling out to the right. He's going to run with the ball. Cuts in at the goal. He's in. Touchdown. Mike Phipps rolling in to score. Phipps rolling around the right end. 5 yards. He was hit at the 3-yard line, but the big guy, the big boy just pulled his way in there. Well, you got to give all the credit to that gutty quarterback, because that's what it was. Just all and out total guts. He rolled out there and he had 2 guys coming at him. Colin, Captain Crunch, who was a big hitter. He couldn't get to him. Dan Herter was the trailer. He tried to get him. He went down and he couldn't get him. He probably got a hand on him, but by then it was too late. Phipps was in, and the Browns have a touchdown. The kick by Cockcroft. The boot is up, and it is good. It is good, and Cleveland is very definitely back now. The Browns are back in the football game with 7:38 on the clock. There's a timeout on the field now with a score. The Dolphins 10, the Cleveland Browns 7. Cleveland is back in this football game. They trail now 10-7 with 7:38 in the third quarter. And believe me, the very partial Miami fans here, very partial to their Dolphins, are a worried group. Don Cockcroft will kick off. Down deep is Mercury Morris, and he is going back into the end zone to make the catch. And he's doing it 6 yards deep. There will be no attempt at a run back. So the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Miami will have possession. And their passing game, which has not been really a thriving thing at all today, will be something Earl Morrow will try to pump up. Or will it be Bob Greasy? Now it's Morrow. Bob still got the jacket on, but Earl Morrow brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Miami's ball, first and 10, their own 20-yard line. Howard Twilley is split out to the right about 5 yards. Warfield is in tight on the left side, and here's the handoff. Backing up the middle is Jim Kick, and he's out over the 25. He's onto the 29-yard line. Ben Davis. The right cornerback finally stops him just shy of the 30. He is just a half-yard shy of a first and 10. 9.5 yards. Give a fellow named Jim Kick, the big guy from Wyoming. Kick and Sonka in the I formation as Morrow has him up there at the 29 and handing it off, and it is Kick once more, breaking the tackle, getting out to the 35 and on to the 36-yard line. Garden and Billy Andrews finally wrestle him down at the 37-yard line. Miami has a first down at their own 37. The ball directly on the hash mark. 6:40 remaining in the third quarter. The Dolphins lead the Cleveland Browns 10-7 as Cleveland has come back here to score just moments ago. Miami breaking on the line of scrimmage. Twilley out wide to the right. Warfield is out to the left. Kick and Sonka in the backfield, and there's battling up in the line there. Back at the throw, and throwing a strike at the 46-yard line of the Cleveland Browns is Earl Morrow, and the man who caught it is Howard Twilley. Oh, Clarence Scott was unhappy about that. And well, he should be, Al. Howard Twilley had fallen to the turf, but He just took that ball. It was thrown right down there at his belly button. He got it right in there and held onto it. Even though he was down, the official was right on top of the play, so no question of reception. Miami has the ball. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 46-yard line. The setback's the spread. Earl Morrow with the signals. The handoff is the kick. Kick breaks one tackle as he hits the line of scrimmage. Gets over the 45. He's down to the 43-yard line. Walter Johnson has him. And when Walter Johnson has you, buddy, you don't go almost anywhere. He is a big one at number 71. Talk about Jimmy Kick. I know it's making a lot of people happy here. Perhaps Jimmy Kick and his parents are up there in New Jersey. He's had more or less to play second fiddle to Murphy Morris all this year after a big year last year. But here he is. When the chips are down, he's getting the yardage. It is 2nd down and 7. Miami with the ball at the 44-yard line, and Kick again with the football. He's down to the 40, right up the middle. He's down to the 37-yard line. He's close to the first down. Charlie Hall is responsible for bringing him down, and the ball is down at the 37-yard line. Now the yard marker for the first down, the end of the chain is at the 46-yard line, so it will be 3rd down and 1 with Miami in possession and moving the football. The running game excellent now. Kick and Saka are taking turns. That defensive line, Nick Rowland, Bob Briggs, Jerry Shirk, and Walter Johnson really getting a workout for the Browns. The linebackers are Hall, Lindsey, and Andrews, and they're in there. Both tight ends are in close with 3rd and 1. Short yardage. For Miami, it's Kick again following his interference. He's got the first down, fumbles the football. Cleveland has recovered at the 33-yard line. The Cleveland Browns have recovered, and the man who recovered the football was Charlie Hall. Well, Kick had picked up about 5 more yards on the carry. It appeared that he was stopped and on his way down, but he had a gang tackle of about 3 Browns on him. And Kick is not a guy that fumbles the ball very often. He and Larry Zonka take a special pride in the fact that they do not drop the ball. But sometimes when you get some of those big guys laying it on you, that's what happens. With a score, Miami 10 and Cleveland 7. There's a timeout on the field. Now this. All right, Cleveland has recovered the fumble. Another turnover there, and it is first down for Cleveland with the ball on the Cleveland 33-yard line. Here's young Mike Phipps under the center. Scott and Leroy Kelly, his setbacks are strong to the left, and it's Scott who gets the football, bumps into one of his own men, is thrown under at the 32-yard line, and they have lost a yard. Nick Bonacotti and Vern Denherter wrapped around him at the 33-yard line. The officials say no loss on the play, but no gain on the play, and the ball is dead up the line of scrimmage. Tip end of it touching the 33. As Cleveland breaks the huddle, Fairhooker goes wide to the left. Flanking out to the right is Frank Pitts. The tight end is Walt Morris. Mike Phipps has the snap. It's Scott who takes the handoff and comes straight up the middle, and Bonacotti has got him around the legs at the 35. He falls forward to the 37-yard line. A gain of just about 4 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Cleveland. Great play by Bonacotti. It looked for a minute like there was going to be about a 5 or 6 yard gain. There was that great mobility and a lateral movement that middle linebacker Bonacotti has. He made the ankle tackle on the runner. 3rd and 6, big 3rd down play. 3-man right, 3-man front to put the pressure on. They'll defend against the pass, and here's Phipps throwing a shot. Long one, intended for Leroy Kelly. It's incomplete. Jake Scott had crossed over in the zone to pick him up. Dick Anderson had been beaten on the play. Kelly with that great speed of his, and he still has great speed. A 6-time all-time rusher in pro football. 6 consecutive Pro Bowls. His 9th year in the game. Incidentally, I wonder if you knew he had a brother who played with the Chicago White Sox. Oh, I didn't know. Leroy Kelly. Don Cockcroft is in there to do the kicking. Scott is the deep man, Jake. Dick Anderson is the short man at about the 35. Cockcroft, plenty of time, high, floating end over end. The catch called for and gathered in by Jake Scott. Miami has possession at their own 29, over the 29, ball at the 30-yard line. We have 2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the third quarter. In a tight one, the Miami Dolphins lead the Cleveland Browns 10-7. Just have a little sun on the upper deck here now, Al. Field completely in the shadow on this poly turf. Not many slips today, incidentally. Beautiful, beautiful day. Miami weather, 70 degrees, and up to the line. The line of scrimmage is at 29 for the Dolphins. Earl Morrow giving it off to Jim Kick, following Larry Sonka, blasting his way over the 35, out to the 36-yard line. Summer had come up to help Hall, and Shirk finally pin him at the 36-yard line. So there's a gain. Very close to 8 yards, about 7.5. Sumner goes out, Walt Sumner, and Bobby Majors comes in to play defensive back. Wide to the left out there is Howard Twilley for Miami. In the slot to the left is Paul Warfield. And here's kick again up the middle to the 40-yard line. And to the 41 with a first down. Billy Andrews gets credit on that stop. It appears that front offensive line perhaps got the word from those Dolphin assistant coaches because the blocking appears to be a lot better. They seem to be moving some people out. Kuchenberg and Little and Langer along with Norm Evans. Well, they're playing with fire now. Now we have the slot back to the right. 20 out wide to the right and Warfield in the slot to the right. The setbacks are strong to the right. Rolling to the right. He'll throw as Earl Morrow looks and fires and into the hands and out. Incomplete at the 42-yard line. Howard Twilley had the football. And there was nothing Clarence Scott could do because the pass from Earl Morrow was down low. Twilley had to go for it. It hit in his hands and his arms and bounced away. He might well have had a completion there at the Cleveland 43-yard line, but he just couldn't hold on to it. Now here's Mercury Morris putting in an appearance. Jim Kick is coming out. Jimmy Kick getting a nice hand. He's part of the favorite here. Number 21. He's really carrying the leather for the Dolphins here in the second half. Miami lining up with a second down 10 at their 41-yard line. Slot back to the right. Warfield in the slot. 20 on the outside. The handoff. And this time it is to Mercury Morris at the 45 to the 50. He's over the midfield stripe and finally hit down by Ben Davis at the Cleveland 47-yard line. That's the advantage of that three-man backfield. You get a guy like Jimmy Kick who's been carrying that ball every other play. He gets a little tired. You take him out. And then comes Mercury Morris. No wonder that when people start saying, well, the rumors about Jimmy Kick being traded, I don't know why they'd want to trade him. 12 first downs now for the Miami Dolphins, and they're moving. The Dolphins at the Cleveland 47, first and 10. Slot back left. Twilley wide. Warfield in it. The handoff. Given to Morris, and Morris trying to feel his way into the right side off the tackle. Can't get any daylight. He had Larry Little out there in front blocking for him, but Little couldn't help him, and the players stopped at the 46-yard line with a gain of 1. He's really something to watch, that Morris, isn't he, Al? With the feet moving fast all the time. Called the Alabama Shuffle the way he handled that. He picks them up and puts them down, doesn't he? She was a great football player. And at the end of the third quarter with the score, the Miami Dolphins 10, the Cleveland Browns 7.
So the Cleveland Browns are staying right in here against the Miami Dolphins, and of course the question now becomes whether or not the Dolphins may be concentrating on keeping that streak alive, or whether they're looking far enough ahead to the Super Bowl. Earl Morrow has some thoughts on that.
You can't look back. You have to look ahead, and we know that Cleveland's coming in here. They're going to play the best football that they know how, and we're certainly going to have to be at our best, because if we falter, if things going into the game. This is what we're preparing, and this is what we'll be out there to do, is just keep doing the same things that we did all year. From the Orange Bowl in Miami, coast to coast on the Mutual Network and around the world on Armed Forces, the American Forces Network, it's the NFL playoffs. The Miami Dolphins are leading the Cleveland Browns 10-7 as we go into the fourth quarter. And Earl Morrow has the second down and 8 situation coming up from the 46-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. And here's the handoff given off to Mercury Morris around the right side to the 45, down to the 40-yard line, and Morris is hit out of bounds. Carrying the 11, Mercury Morris, a great little running back. Tom Darden makes the tackle. Well, let's check that. I beg your pardon. Making the tackle was Ben Davis and Walt Sumner on the far sidelines. And here's Howard Twilley coming to the sidelines because we're going to have a 3rd and 1 coming up. The ball is at the 38-yard line of the Browns. Both tight ends are in. Quarterback Earl Morrow gives it off and stopped. Oh, I don't believe he made it. Mercury Morris right at the line of scrimmage. I think he got it right on the button. He didn't. In fact, he might not have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Officials have called the timeout for themselves just to take a look at it, but I'm sure he's at least 1.5 yards short. A big play that was for the Dolphins because they had been moving here, and as we're just starting the fourth quarter underway with the Dolphins in front. Now Earl Morrow looking to the bench to find out whether or not they're going to kick, and they are, because there goes Gary Apremian and the kicking team. Jerry Shirk responsible for the tackle down there, and he made a key tackle. All that Morris needed was a yard, and he did not get it. Earl Morrow will hold. Apremian will attempt the field goal from the 46-yard line. Here's the ball down. The kick is on the way. It is good. So the Dolphins now take a 6-point lead, 13-7. Miami out in front. And there's the timeout here with the score. Miami 13, the Cleveland Browns 7. Gary Apremian tees the football up at the 40-yard line for Miami. We have 13:32 remaining here in the Orange Bowl, 13-7. The Dolphins lead. It's Billy LaFleur and Ken Brown deep. And it is LaFleur at the goal line, out to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. Spins down at the 20-yard line. I saw a flag as number 32. Caught him right around the ankle and flipped him. Billy LaFleur running it back to the 20-yard line. It is a penalty against the Browns. That flag, a penalty against the Browns. Bob? Looked like it might have been a clip on the far side of the field. Dolphin player went down and the flag went down immediately. That's what it was. The signal by the referee. So that pushes the Browns back even further. And they are deep in their own territory at the 11-yard line, and they are trailing the Dolphins here with 13:22. 13:22 remaining in the game. Miami in front, 13-7. Postcott, Leroy Kelly, they've gone most of the way, almost every play of the game. Dipped with a first down at the Cleveland 10-yard line, back deep. Now he's 90 yards away from the touchdown that could put him in command for the first time. Back 7, 8 yards to throw. Look, can't find the receiver, will run with it at the 15. Good block, gets out to the 23-yard line. Leroy Kelly came back and made a key block on Doug Swift, the linebacker. That's what you call I guess a crackback block downfield. Doug turned around and tried to pursue Mike Phipps, and there's Leroy. As we said, he's been catching punts. He does everything, catches passes, an all-around great ball player. Leroy Kelly just putting a great block and freeing quarterback Phipps on the scramble for a few more yards. They have a first down. Cleveland at their own 24 with a first and 10. Frank Phipps is out wide to the right. Split out to the left is Fair Hooker. Quarterback Mike Phipps. with a long count now, looking over the defenses. Will he change it up? Nope. Gives it to Scott. Off the tackle. Up to the 30-yard line. Breaks another tackle to the 35. Beautiful run there. And Scott just simply refuses to be wrestled down. And is finally put on the turf there by Bill Stanfield, the big defensive right end of the Miami Dolphins. 13-7. The Dolphins lead is only 6 points. A touchdown by Cleveland now would really have people's heads spinning. The undefeated Dolphins only with a 6-point lead and 12 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Pitch is out wide to the right. Hooker is split to the left. Here's the fake throw up the middle. Pitch is back to throw. He throws the ball and tips it, almost intercepted. It had to be tipped there by Bonacanti. It was intended there for Frank Pitts as he turned in either Pitts or was it Milmore?
Right, Milmore on the tight end. Just going right across on the post pattern. Trying to thread right in the middle of that zone. Tipped first by Bonacanti, almost picked off by Anderson, almost picked off by Scott.
Back it comes to the 38-yard line. The Cleveland Browns will have a second down 10 from their 38. A lot of discussion in that huddle as they break. Bob DeMarco, the center, Gene Dickerson, and John DeMary of LSU at the guard. Doug Deacon and Bob McKay at the tackles. That's the offensive interior line. Back goes Pitts to throw. He's hit as he releases it. It's complete. A circus catch at the 43-yard line for the Browns. Hooker made a circus catch down there, and Dick Anderson nailed him at the spot. And I believe Bear Hooker is hurt a little. He's shaken up.
He's all right. He is definitely shaken up. He's going off. Will be replayed. And give a lot of credit to Phipps there. I was going to say that the Dolphins have got to get to that quarterback. They have not put a sack on Phipps. They nearly did that, but he got it off at the last instant, and they are in excellent field position.
The Browns at the Miami 44-yard line. I formation. Phipps is the man. Taking the handoff to Bo Scott, and Scott rambles right up the middle, gets down to the 40-yard line. He's blasted back to about the 42. So the head linesman is indicating there that he reached the 40-yard line before Bill Stanfield wrestled him down. Oh, Miami is having a real test of it. Believe me, Nick Scourge has this football team, the Cleveland Browns, up for a great effort. The first half dominated by Miami. They led 10-0 at halftime. The Browns have come charging back. 10:45 remaining. Buster Richardson is in there. Rolling out to the right, Phipps may keep. He is. He keeps the football, turns it and gets to the 36. Outside of him, Leroy Kelly was running the option. He could have pitched, but he elected to keep the football and turn in. That ball is down at the 36-yard line of the Miami Dolphins, and it is third down coming up, third and about 2. A long 2. Frank Pitts goes out. Phipps now has rushed 4 times for 30 yards. He's carried 4 times for 30 yards. Hooker is split out to the left. The only man outside. Tight formation in there. Both tight ends are in. Here's the snap, and the quarterback jamming it forward. He may have done it. Phipps put his head down. Bob DeMarco and John DeMary were blasting, blast blocking for him there, trying to give him daylight. He gets down to the 34-yard line. Let's see where it's placed down. It is first down for Cleveland. That is the 10th first down the Browns have come up with this afternoon. And a big one, a most important one, Bob.
A great effort by Phipps. He sort of went a little bit longer on the count, and that may have just about thrown off the Dolphin rush that they were trying to put on to prevent the first down. But Phipps got the first down. He also got a touchdown rusher.
Now the Browns line up with a first down at the 33 and a slot back, and Phipps is back to throw, and he's being sacked. Manny Fernandez sacks him at the 38.
We were mentioning just a few moments ago they have not sacked Mike Phipps. I don't know whether they heard me down there, but they finally got to him. The way this club has been moving, that's the kind of play that the Dolphins or any defense needs.
Matheson and Mumford go in on defense. Coming out is Bob Hines and Mike Cohen for the Miami Dolphins. Two defensive changes. Cleveland now has a second down, lost 5 on the play, second and 15 from the 38-yard line of the Dolphins. Hooker to the right, to the left, and pitch to the right, and back 8 yards to throw. Throwing, and it's intercepted. Tipped as he passed, intercepted by Dick Anderson. Back to the 25, on to the 29, and Anderson is down at that point. He has fumbled the football. He fumbled the football, and I believe Cleveland has recovered it. Bob? Anderson stole the pass, made a leaping interception, came back at about the 30. He was hit. He was trying to run and down the near sidelines. He got hit, and I believe Scott, number 35, is the man who made the recovery. I'll have to check that. But the Browns lost it, and they got it right back. And they're just about where they started from a few moments ago, perhaps 5 yards further into Dolphin territory. That's the fourth pass. Cleveland pass intercepted today, but the fumble gave it right back to them. First down at the Miami 30-yard line. The Cleveland Browns. Mike Phipps under the center. Has the snap. Gives it off. Wide to the left. Ken Brown with a running back. Trying to turn the corner. He's finally cut back in there. Tim Foley comes up at the line of scrimmage. He may have picked up a yard or two. They'll bring it in, I believe, at the 27-yard line, and that would give him 3 yards, and it will be second down and 7. 3 yards gain on the play. Ken Brown in for Scott, who was on the recovery, and Scott is on the sidelines. Must have had a little wind taken out of him. He sort of bent over a little bit, and they sure would like to get him back in there. Hooker to the left and Pitts to the right, and back goes Pitts to throw. He looks, he throws into the end zone all by himself. Touchdown! There, Hooker catches it. Touchdown, Cleveland! To the left, went down, turned into the middle, and then cut to the left. Nobody was there. This ball game is all tied up with 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. To try and unlock the tie, Don Cockcroft will try the point after. Bill Nelson will hold. Here's the kick. It is up. It is good. It's good. So, with the score, the Cleveland Browns 14, the Miami Dolphins 13. Gets his hands on the football. It is up at the 35-yard line of Miami. It's first down for the Dolphins. As they break the huddle, Warfield splits out to the left-hand side. Out to the right, just off of the defensive. The tight end is Howard Twillie. And here, going right up the middle with the football, filling it out is Mercury Morris. And Morris brings it out to the 40-yard line. Down on the bottom, Walter Johnson and Jerry Shirk were the two men 5 yards gain responsible for the stop. A gain of 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5. Miami huddles back at the 30. 13 carries for Morris, 62 yards for today. Again, both of his wide receivers are split out. to the right, Warfield to the left. The handoff to Morris. He's running, turning the corner. Can't get away, though. As he gets out to the 45-yard line, he could not get away from strong side linebacker Charlie Hall. Al, I think he's close to the first down. He got it. Mercury Morris for the first down. So the old veteran, Earl Morrow, just calm and coolly leading his favorite, two-touchdown favorite Miami Dolphins team out of a deep hole. He has moved them from the 20. They are now at the 45. We have 6:33 remaining, and the Dolphins trailing the underdog Cleveland Browns by a point, 14-13. That was the 14th first down of the ball game for the Dolphins with a first down at their 45. 5 men sacked in that line for Cleveland. The rush is on. The blitz is on. Morrow picks it up. He looks. He goes with a long shot. It's caught. It's caught at the 23. Making the grab was Paul Warfield. He had beaten Ben Davis. Great catch down there by Warfield, and I believe he's hurt. Great catches. We talk about this guy. There aren't words to describe what Paul Warfield can do. He was bumped. He was double covered. How we ever got behind Ben Davis, I'll never know. And how we ever caught that ball. He just leaped. I'd love to have a picture to show our mutual broadcasting audience. He just leaped high over his head, and perhaps he is down. The trainer Bob Lundy's looking at may have the wind knocked out of him. So with the score, the Cleveland Browns 14, the Miami Dolphins 13. There's a timeout on the field. Now this. Miami has the first down at the 20-yard line of the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns just a moment ago took away the lead, 14-13. All right, the Browns had come up to the defensive line, sacked their line, and Miami had come up to the line of scrimmage, but the officials send them back and say, let's do it once more. Now Paul Warfield's up. He got a standing ovation. He's on the sideline. Windshield, they look like he's okay, and he will play. Mercury Morris, Larry Zonka, the setbacks behind quarterback Earl Morrow. Morrow off to Morris. Morris out to the left, cuts in, inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Andrews is up there to make the tackle, and Tom Darden is there to try and steal the football. Well, everybody wants that football. There goes Warfield back in. Otto Stowe coming out. Mercury Morris, is a small back compared to these guys, and I'm sure that the coaches have said, hold on to that ball. Jimmy Kick checks in, and Mercury Morris now comes off. Looks like he might have been shaken up a little bit. The lights are on here in the Orange Bowl in Miami, and the evening shadows are beginning to drift in. Morris has 14 carries for 65 yards. All right, the ball at the 17-yard line, second down and 8. Marl has the snap for the Miami Dolphins. Back to throw, goes into the end zone, and there's a flag on the play. Paul Warfield was in the end zone and tripped. There's a flag on the play. Now I'm wondering if this is against. Oh, it is. It's against Cleveland. Arguing with the call is Billy Andrews, the left linebacker. He's claiming that Warfield pushed off on him, but they had 3 men. Did you see that out? 3 men on Warfield. Triple coverage in the end zone there. Earl Morrow meant to go to him. He put the ball in the air. It was not the bullet type, the trajectory that Earl Morrow can throw. It was not a lofted pass, about a half-speed throw to the end zone, and Warfield there, triple coverage, was batted down. Now the ball is at the 9-yard line, at the 8-yard line, and it is first down. First and goal for Miami at that point. Morrow handing off to Kick, and Kick going right up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown! Miami scores! Down below and around this stadium, this mammoth Orange Bowl stadium, all you see is white handkerchiefs flapping. And for good reason. Anytime they score, the Dolphins, you'll see that. Here's the point after try. The kick is up. The kick is good. The Dolphins have the lead back. It's Miami 20. The Cleveland that this team has shown all year, that they can meet whatever the obstacle is. They didn't get to be where they are, 14-0, without being able to do these kind of things. Earl Morrall, he's a veteran of 17 years. They had the ball on the 20. He just moved them right down the field. And he went to another great veteran, Paul Warfield. A great catch of 35 yards for Paul Warfield. Then the interference call. And then another guy that they say, boy, when the chips are down, as we talked about earlier, Jimmy Kick. He's the guy that will come through for you. And that he did. An 8-yard burst with Larry Little and with some great blocking.
Here's the kickoff. Down deep is LeBaire and Ken Brown.
It hits the crossbars. A tremendous kick there by Garo Yepremian.
It will be brought out to the 20-yard line. So Cleveland now is once again behind after wrestling the lead away from Miami, 14-13. They trail 20-14. 4 minutes and 49 seconds remain. This is a madhouse in the Orange Bowl. These fans are going to be rip-roaring stark mad if Miami can tuck it away and pack it in. That means they'll go into the championship game. Mike Phipps has the Browns up to the line at the 20-yard line. He'll have to go to the air, looks and throws over the line to Bo Scott at the 23, Scott to the 25. Falls forward to about the 28-yard line as Nick Bonacani comes in there to help Mike Colon pin him.
Scott going off and Ken Brown coming in. And that's all important, Al, getting up there on that first play for about 9 yards.
Here come the Browns up to the line of scrimmage. They have a second down and one situation in their own 29-yard line. And there is a handoff to Ken Brown. And Brown cracking right up the middle. Straight ahead, then turning to his right, veering to his right out to the 34-yard line. Makes the first down. Cleveland with a first down at, the tip end of that ball is almost touching the 35, so let's see. Again at 6 yards, and it is first and 10 for Cleveland at that 35-yard line. Fits this flank wide to the right. As the handoff again goes to Brown, and again he tries the center. Fine one-on-one blocking in the middle of that line. Bonacani is there. Along with him is Bob Matheson. That ball is down at the 39-yard line. Cleveland has gained 4 on the play, and we'll call it second down and 6. 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. The clock is running here in the Orange Bowl. The Dolphins lead the Cleveland Browns 20-14. An exciting football game. One of the great National Football League playoff games. Here's Fitz back to throw. Goes to the sideline. Overthrows his receiver, Leroy Kelly.
Yesterday, anything can happen, and usually does. Nobody has left this Orange Bowl. 80,010 still here. The Dolphins deep in their own territory. They want to control the ball, but they've also got to make a first down. They can't give up the ball. Earl Morrall is the quarterback, and it's basically the same offensive unit they've had since the beginning of the ball game.
Earl Morrall now has the charge blown on the bugle down there and brings Miami up to the line at their 16 with a first down. Kick and Sanka are the backs, and it is kicked with the football, bringing it out to the 17 and being thrown back to about the 12. Driving forward, Ben Davis, the right cornerback, caught him right at the line of scrimmage and drilled him back. He picked up a yard on the play, so let's call it second down and 9.
beautiful Christmas Eve night. And very shortly, across that sky somewhere, I'm not sure whether it will be an airliner, but they tell me it's a sleigh, and there's a red man in it. Second down 9, Miami at their 17. Morrall handing off, Sonka with the ball, turning the corner and getting back to the line of scrimmage as the flag is dropped. Dale Lindsey is responsible for the stop. There's no gain on the play, but we do have a Cleveland player down. And that looks like Billy Andrews. Looks like a holding penalty coming up against the Miami Dolphins, which will push them back even further deep in their own territory. Dolphins lead 20-14. Browns are threatening now. They have the ball at the Miami 35. Pitches to the right, Hookers to the left. Back goes Phipps to throw. He elects to run instead. Spins his way back to the 40 to 35-yard line. To the line of scrimmage and is wrestled down right at the 35. Just a three-man rush put on there. The two defensive ends, Stanfield, Denherter, and Fernandes. It was Fernandes who got him. Already lined up. The Browns hurriedly have Phipps back in the pocket to throw. Looks and fires. Intercepted by Miami. Taking it off is Doug Swift. He's at the 30, the 35. Caught from behind at the 39-yard line. With 48 seconds to go in the game. Miami has possession. The Miami Dolphins, Doug Swift has just made the biggest interception of his career. In fact, it's his second of the ball game, and he now has 5 on the season, which ties him for the lead with Jake Scott. Doug Swift picking off the fifth pass with just 32 seconds remaining here, and has possibly won this game for the Miami Dolphins and puts them on their way next week into Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship game. The Dolphins out of the huddle. Earl Morrall brings him up to the line of scrimmage at his own 39-yard line. And with 15 seconds, that is all they have left. The official called for a timeout. 3-point lead. The Browns have just given the football up on an interception, the 5th of the day that Phipps has thrown. Earl Morrow takes the snap and dives forward and lays on the football. He has no intention of giving it up, and the Cleveland Browns, are they calling a timeout, Bob Halloran? Yes, they have called another timeout, and don't know whether it's really going to mean much, because we know that Earl Morrow is going to do the same thing he just did. And I must say that this has been such a great effort, and there must be tremendous disappointment. I know in the booth next to us, Art Modell and all the Cleveland owners are really upset at this time. A few moments ago, it looked like they were going to pull off one of the year's big upsets and take the Miami Dolphins. But on the other hand, here's the Miami Dolphins with a great coaching staff headed by Don Shula, who is seeking and probably will get his 106th career victory here with the Miami Dolphins, his 34th, and his 15th on the season without a defeat. And the Dolphins, as we said, coming back, facing defeat, possible defeat here late in the ball game when Cleveland went ahead on a pass to Fairhooker. But they've come right back. Morrow drove them down. Chick went in from 8 yards. Cleveland was threatening, and Swift made his second interception, and we're back live. All right, Morrow with 11 seconds remaining now. His time is back in. He has a second down and about 15. Again, ball's on the ball. They can do nothing about it now. The timeout. All right, 3rd and 15. Earl Morrow again taking the ball, folding up. Right there. 2, 1. It's all over. The Miami Dolphins have defeated the Cleveland Browns. Miami 20, Cleveland 14.
Cleveland and Miami fought a war of mistakes, mostly by the Browns. Doug Swift's diving interception was the first break for Miami. But then came an even bigger one. Don Cockcroft's punt was blocked by Miami's Charles Babb, and Babb picked up the ball and went in for a touchdown. Still in the first half, Cleveland's Mike Phipps surrendered his second interception, this one picked off by Curtis Johnson. Johnson took the ball on his own 6, and he ran it all the way out to the 40-yard line. Again, Cockcroft got in trouble trying to punt. It was a high snap from center, and by the time Cockcroft got it in his hands, it was too late to punt. Then Phipps gave up his third interception to Miami's Dick Anderson. Yet at the half, despite all those Cleveland errors, Miami led by only 10-0. And when Phipps scrambled for Cleveland's first touchdown early in the third quarter, the Browns were back in the game. Trailing 13-7 in the fourth quarter, the Browns got a big break after Anderson came up with his second interception. Anderson fumbled, and Cleveland's Fairhooker recovered the ball. 2 plays later, Fairhooker was near the goal line. Phipps found him in the clear. Hooker caught the ball and dashed in. The extra point gave Cleveland a 14-13 lead. But Miami, riding a 14-game winning streak, wouldn't quit. A long pass from Earl Morrow, capped by a fine reception by Paul Warfield, set up the winning touchdown. Jim Kick drove 8 yards for the score. And when Phipps gave up his 5th interception, Miami had a 20-14 victory. The Dolphins play Pittsburgh next Sunday, and the winner plays the winner of Washington-Dallas in the Super Bowl January 14th. Dick Schaap, NBC News.